Okay. So we are doing the last pasuk of chapter 2 in order to start chapter 3. So we're reading Rashi, who's telling us what time of history this pasuk is referring to. Until the sun spreads and the shadows flee, go around, liken yourself, my beloved, to a gazelle or to a fawn of the hinds on the distant mountains. Okay, we went into this verse last week or 2 weeks ago, more at length, and because it was 2 weeks ago, we are going back a little bit. And Rashi says, this refers back to the preceding verse, my beloved is mine and I am his. Yes, ani, dodi li ve'ani lo, until the time that the iniquity caused the sun to darken me in the heat of the day and the heat to intensify. So the Mefarshim say, he's talking about the sun that was so strong in the heat, like the heat of the day, that you can't look at it. It's hinting to the connection, such a strong connection that we had by Matan Torah. It's like in a love affair, you would say the peak of the love, that it was so strong that really you couldn't grasp it. There was like shvirat kelim, that there was no vessel to hold it and it broke. It's really taking us to a place of a climax of intensity, of passion, of feeling, of togetherness, that it was like, in a way, too much. It's like, in a way, olam hatohu, that, I once had a woman come to me and saying she was, in a connection, in an affair, actually, with a man, and she goes, it's like, wow, it's like too much. I don't think I could get married to this person. And she couldn't. He wasn't marriageable material, but the intensity of her feeling was so strong. And the truth is, that's olam hatohu, where every sphera is in its fullest. But we can't live with that. And in the world of tikkun, the volume of the intensity of every sphere is less, but it's workable. It's love goes with stringency. Chesed mixes with gvura, and gvura mixes with tiferet. And that's why if you look at a picture of the sfirot, they're not in a line, they're connected, as we did in Sfir Sa'omer, because it's more workable. You could put it into vessels. So I taught a woman who had previous love affairs, and she says, my engagement now doesn't have that fiercity and that intensity that I had with all my previous lovers. So I said, so why didn't you marry them? She goes, oh, it was impossible. I said, it was impossible to contain that love because it was like, it didn't fit into kalim. So yes, it's less fierce, but it's livable till 120. So here also, we went Matan Torah. It was so fierce, we even cried to Moshe, you continue telling us the Aseret Dibra because we can't take this light. Okay? And the shadows flee. He says, we're talking here about the sin of the calf. We sinned with the spies, and the shadows fled, and the merits that protected us, we broke off his yoke, and Hashem distanced himself. I caused him to leave me. I'm reading Rashi, as you see, on mountains distance from me. We pushed Hashem away, and he uses here the word bater, and an expression of separating and distancing. That it's too much that we had to distance ourselves. And now we are looking for Hashem again. Perek Gimel starts with us looking for Hashem after this intense light that we saw caused us to sin, not that the light caused us to sin, it's our that we were incapable of holding this love, and we sinned with the golden calf and with the sins of the spies, which was last week's parsha, and now we're continuing in that time frame. And now we're starting how we are back through our exile, looking to for Hashem, and that's how chapter 3 starts. And chapter 3, third chapter, is so beautifully allegorically comparing our search to a lover alone in his bed and saying, like, where's my beloved? How do I consummate my love, and how do I, bring it to action when I can't find my lover? It's us looking for Hashem and saying, Hashem, achen ata ken mistater, you're hiding. This is what the Baal Shem Tov actually said. It's like a story of a child playing hide and go seek with his friends, and he hid so well. Hashem is saying, I hid so well that my friends gave up in looking for me, and they went back to their houses for supper and going to sleep, and they forgot all about me. And the Baal Shem Tov is like, it's a mashal. It's like the man that found the little boy in his hiding place and said, what are you doing here? And he said, I'm hiding from my friends, but they gave up looking for me. And now I'm going out of my hiding place. I can't find them. I can't find them. So it's Hashem looking for us, and we are scattered amongst the nations and busy in Ghana or in everywhere where we are. And it's also we looking for Hashem. Where are you? This world looks like, gay parade. Where are you, Hashem? In Tel Aviv, where are you? Why did you hide the world from the Lashon Ha'elem? So this is chapter 3 is talking about how we are looking, and Hashem is looking there. We're looking for each other, and like we keep missing. And it starts, Al mishkavi baleilot, bikashti et she'ava nafshi, bikashti velo mitzativ. I'll read it in English, it's so beautiful. On my bed at night, I saw him, whom my soul loves. I sought him, but did not find him. I will arise now and go about the city, in the marketplaces, and in city squares. I will seek him whom my soul loves. I sought him, past tense and present tense, and I did not find him. The watchman who patrols the city found me. We could say like the Baal Shem Tov Chassidus. Have you seen him whom my soul loves? I had just passed them by when I found him with my soul loves, whom my soul loves. I held him and would not let him go until I brought him into my mother's house and into the chamber of her who had conceived me. Isn't this beautiful? And I just want to connect it to something that we are actually in this week's parsha. Let me stop sharing for a minute. When we learn, we're doing now Parshat Chumash Bamidbar, the time of the Jews in the desert. Dar De'ah, it's a wonderful generation. And we are a reincarnation, the Rebbe says, of that generation, the people who went out of Mitzrayim. They went from slavery of Mitzrayim, seeing the Makot, going through the Yam Suf, that it says that a maidservant, and I saw lots of maidservants last week, maidservant, like Shifcha al Hayam, and the children who were born through the Mesirut Nefesh of the women saw God on Yam Suf. They were able to point with their fingers and say, Zek Keli. They would say, this is God, because they recognized them. Hashem saved them in the Yam Suf. And also when Paro threw those children in the Nile, we learned that the Malachim and Hashem fed them and kept them alive. So they recognized and said, oh, this is God, we know him. And then counted 49 days and Matan Torah, we were so close to him. And then within the 2 years, we sinned with the golden calf, Chet HaMeraglim, because of all the things that happened at that time. We couldn't hold on to it. And we should know that when we learn Chumash Bamidbar, the two we learned the Shmot, they went out last week and then built the Mishkan. And then we have Chet HaMeraglim, we have Chet HaEgel, and then this week we're learning about Korach. And then it starts of Aaron's death, and then we go into other details. Really, we learn it parsha after parsha, but the truth is between this week's parsha and maybe next week's parsha, there's 38 years. We were 40 years in the Midbar. First 2 years, we saw God, felt God. We had all these things happening, what I mentioned before, the great things, the man, the slav, the seeing of Ananei Kavod and everything else, feeling God so in a way of seeing, hearing. Moshe Rabbeinu speaking to Hashem. But after the sin of the Meraglim and Korach and Chet HaEgel, Hashem stopped speaking to Moshe directly. For 38 years, actually, Hashem did not speak to Moshe. And for 38 years, we were in the Midbar in an elevated state, learning Torah, living a miraculous life of the man and the Anan and the Mishkan and everything else. But really, Hashem pulled away and did not speak to Moshe. Moshe was leading us, and Moshe was teaching us and preparing us to go into Eretz Yisrael, but Hashem did not speak directly to Moshe anymore till the last year or last month or two before they went into Eretz Yisrael with Aaron's death and Moshe Rabbeinu's death. So what Rashi's telling us, it's also in the Midbar, this longing after seeing that great light of Matan Torah. They said, they started for 38 years, that feeling of looking for Hashem was also in the Midbar, was also the Dor HaMidbar, looking, because once you see the light, and then you have things pulling you away, you still have that longing to get back. And this is something we have to feel. This is something we have to connect to. You know that we saw a great light. We knew it. And I would say it's Chasidei Chabad, those that were zeichet to see the Rebbe. To know that we're like in the 38 years of the Midbar, that we're on a high level of learning and preparing the world, but we want the ultimate light. We really want Mashiach to really see, the time before Gimel Tammuz, we're getting close to Gimel Tammuz. We were like, by Matan Torah, the world Mashiach's coming now. It was so real. It was so there. The world was, I saw even in Tel Aviv, people, even my Misnagdisha friends who used to say, oh, you really think Mashiach's coming? Did you take a walk down Dizengoff? Do you know who's going to Tel Aviv? And I used to say, even the people on Dizengoff know that Mashiach's coming. And they did, because there were, funny stickers that Filonim were writing, Mashiach's coming in funny ways, like teasing us, but it became a houseworld world. And then Hashem decided to pull away, but we really still have that longing and know that it's going to happen. And when I read the Psukim, when I prepared, which I did, I won't give you today what I prepared because I gave you the story of Ghana, but it's part of that. It's part of that. I saw it on the women's faces that it touched them. You know, they came with, no, what do you think? What are we going to talk about? The mikvah? And each one telling her horror story of the rabbanut making them go, etc. And then afterwards, the fason, as they say, that facade of you saw the true Jew there and saying, like, maybe I should go to the mikvah. And this is what Mashiach is going to take us back into that mikvah, that we should all come out in a holy state and really see the light that, yes, with all the schmutz that we have around us, it's not really schmutz. It's the world throwing on us mud, and we're trying to get rid of that mud to see and to show that the light is here. The light is here. It's olam, from the word he'elem. And this is the longing that I just read to you from Perek Gimel. We will continue in Mitzvah Hashem next week and see it within. And Mashiach should come way beforehand and see that we don't have to wait the week. We know about that longing, and we really want Mashiach now. Everybody have a great week.
Wow, Esther, amazing. The story, beautiful, very beautiful.
It's not a story, it's life. It's life.
We loved it. We loved it. It was
so much.
incredible. Incredible. Thank you so much, Esther.
Incredible.
You're very welcome.
Incredible.
Take care. Take care.
The lady asked me. Thank you, Esther. That was beautiful.
You're welcome. Take care. You were all with me. I told her.
Yeah, we were.
I said, I brought the women with me, my women. So you were all there. You can all be and have a good sleep.
Esther, I envisioned the places where you were because that's where I came from.
That's right. But you know what? When they say, were you ever in Africa? I say, I was South Africa. And they said, oh, South Africa is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
Thank
sure
you.
you traveled there. Yes. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Esther.
You know, a lady asked me,